Okay, what's up YouTube? I'm back with another video. And in today's lesson, we're going to be talking about that we are living in a computer simulation, a virtual reality, an illusion. This what we think we living in, experiencing is not real. This is a false reality. We are in the mind of God. We're going to use their own science to prove what they say. They live in the goddamn computer program. Who came up with all this stuff? If you go back and watch my video, black people, we are living in the mind of God. We know that God is many of them. And who is God? Black men and women. It's not white people, because white folks have only been here for 6,000 years. Okay? Now, when you're dealing with consciousness, right? M-string theory, quantum computing, quantum cosmology, all of that stuff, black folks came up with all this stuff. Negroes, niggas. Subatomic particles, things of that nature. We're gonna see what their own science says. Quantum physics, we're living in an illusion. I keep telling you all, this is not real. Right? Go back and watch that video I put up. So it says here that the first human observers to walk this planet were the original black man and woman. According to the mathematics of quantum cosmology, the present state and configuration of the universe owes existence to the consciousness or awareness of these first human observers. Therefore, the inescapable conclusion that the scientific world is faced with is that the original black people of this planet are in fact mathematically and scientifically the true lords of creation. Elijah Muhammad said, "You are the only man who needed light to light up your universe. He brought forth that light." So, in this book right here, Everything You Need to Know But I've Never Been Told, David Icke, he says that we are all consciousness. Consciousness means being aware. And he says that we are living in a illusion, a false reality, a dream world. Whose dream world is this? Who came up with this stuff? Did his people, did white folks come up with this stuff? Did white folks' minds come up with this stuff? No. No, they didn't. They've only been here for 6,000 years. So if they've only been here for 6,000 years on this earth, and NASA so-called says that there's other planets out there, well, we know that they're not on there. They're not on those other planets, multi-dimensional beings. So let's go into it. I'm not even gonna make this video long and drawn out. We're gonna quote a couple of their own scientists, and we're gonna hear what they have to say. This book is like almost 700 some pages. This is a dream world. Whose dream are we in? Whose mind of God? What God are we in? Which mind of God are we in right now? Which reality? Right? Okay, so check this out. Legendary American comedian Bill Hicks, who had countless experiences in psychoactive drug-induced altered state, said, quote, "All matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration. We are all one consciousness, experiencing itself subjectively. There is no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we are the imagination of ourselves. This is what the illusion of physical matter really is. energy vibrating so slowly that it gives the appearance of solidity. Morpheus asks Neo, what is real? How do you define real? If you are talking about what you can see, feel, taste, and smell, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. Now here's meridian lines and acupunctures are the body's motherboard. So you have a computer motherboard right here, and when they do acupuncture on the body, it lights up like a motherboard. Now I told you all that to prove that we are beings of energy, fill the bathtub with water, sit in the tub, get a radio, drop it in the tub. What's going to happen to you? You're going to get electrocuted. Now, let's go here. Let's go here to right here, right? So it says here that New Scientist, the UK mainstream science magazine, ran a front page story in 2009 entitled, quote, "You are a hologram projected from the edge of the universe." And Scientific American magazine gave similar coverage to a story headed, quote, "Are you a hologram? Quantum physics say the entire universe might be." Another mainstream media report in 2017 carried the headline, quote, "The universe could be a vast and complex hologram, scientists say." The report explained how researchers from the UK University Southampton, working with colleagues from Canada and Italy, had found substantial evidence that we are part of a massive illusion, akin to watching a 3D movie projected from a 2D screen. The team, which detailed the findings in the peer-reviewed scientific journal Physical Review Letters, said the research discovered they found some discrepancies in cosmic microwave background, otherwise known as the afterglow, quote, "the afterglow of the Big Bang," which didn't happen. Kostas Skidiris, a professor of mathematical science of Southampton, said it was similar to watching a 3D film in the cinema. The difference was that we are able to touch objects and the projection is experienced as real. We don't touch objects, but interact waveform to waveform, and the 3D cinema screen is our own decoding process. You see that? Digital holograms are basically the reality we experience as the world. The brain body decodes waveform information into electrical and digital holographic, and so at one level of reality, everything appears as numbers and related codes. Max Tegmark, physicist at the MIT and author of Our Mathematical Universe, said, quote, "The universe can be entirely described by numbers and math." See that? We are living in a hologram. Let's go here. Alice in Wonderland said, "Nothing would be what it is because everything would be what it isn't." And contrary-wise, what it is wouldn't be. And what it wouldn't be, it would. Do you see? Our reality is one gigantic inversion, and there's no better example than mainstream religion. One second. Okay, so you got Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth is your Yahweh, right? So Yaldabaoth, he said Yaldabaoth, who I'll be referred to as the Mergy, from here on is described by Gnostics as insane and the blind one, Samael, and our other names given to this Demergy force, and they translate as the blind God and the foolish one. Right here. Gnostic manuscripts say that the Demergy didn't know of his creator, Mother Sophia, and looked out on the realm of matter, low frequency energy, that his mother's mental emotional trauma had manifested. He believed this was all his doing, and that he was all that existed, although he had later learned otherwise. Opening his eyes, the chief archon saw a vast quantity of matter without limit, and he became ignorant, saying, quote, "It is I, who am God, and there is no other power apart from me." It says here, this is the origin of the angry, bloodthirsty deity insisting that he is the only God. Gnostics equated the Demergy with Yahweh, Jehovah, the nasty God of the Old Testament, who is reported in the Bible to have said, "I am the Lord, and there is no one else. There is no God besides me." The Demergy and the vicious Old Testament God are the same fella. They the same. They one and the same. Demergy, Yaldabaoth, Samael, Satan, the devil, Yahweh, Jehovah, the same entity. One second. We're in his mind. This is his reality. And the New Testament says the God of this world. What God? One second. We're living in an illusion. Trying to get you all to see. So he says here that on page 95, he says, "I have described the Gnostic version of reality, which mirrors in theme my own by using the symbolic language of more than 1,500 years ago in our perception of time. Now, in the parlance of modern technology, I will compare Gnostic reality with the concept of the world as a computer simulation. The two are actually the same because our simulated reality is a Gnostic bad copy or part of it. It says right here, the simulation concept was rarely talked about in those earlier days, and Nick Bostrom, a Swedish-born philosopher at the University of Oxford, was one of the few to be publicly quoted on the subject. He explored the possibility that our world is a computer simulation, which by definition must have been created by an intelligence we know nothing about. Oh, but we do. Gnostics call this Demergy or Yaldabaoth. Bostrom said in 2013, many works of science fiction, as well as some forecasts by serious technologists and futurologists, predict that enormous amounts of computing power will be available in the future. Let us suppose for a moment that these predictions are correct. One thing that later generations might do with their super powerful computers is run detailed simulations of their forebears or foreparents, or of people like their foreparents. because their computers will be so powerful they can run a great many such simulations. See that? We're living in a computer program. Let's keep on going. You got the Fibonacci sequence, okay? Let's keep on going. We're living in a computer program, man. This is. We're living in a dream world. Okay? So like I said, this book is almost like 700 some pages. You know what I'm saying? But we just showed you. They're living in a dream, in an illusion. Rumi, a 13th century Sufi mystic, said, "This place is a dream. Only a sleeper considers it real. Then death comes like a dawn, and you wake up laughing at what you thought was your grief." Okay. We're living in a hologram. Now, let's go back here. This Doug Vogt, the guy we talked to on the phone, right? And he has it here. Are we in a hologram? Subatomic particles, quasars, black holes.
Of a hologram, or is a hologram. And the theory of multidimensional reality's interpretation of it and how to solve the problem that they have right now, which is way too many subatomic particles trying to figure out a bunch of tracks in these bubble chambers and cyclotrons. Anyway, so we'll start in. I'll be covering subjects that were covered in the Gaussian Judgment. That's about 11 years ago when I wrote this book. And this is a more recent one that's about 2 years back. And so we're going to chapter 3 on this book and chapter 2 on this, parts of it. About 2 weeks before I did my first video, Stephen Hawking had written his last...
Stephen Hawkins. We just talked about Stephen Hawkins and this article. The Hidden Science, The Secret in Modern Science to the Black Man God. Here's Stephen Hawkins. He wrote a book. Where is it at? Stephen Hawkins wrote a book, right? Called The Grand Design. Let's see what he has to say.
Paper. I have the copy of the paper. And what was interesting about it is he basically is saying the universe is the product of a hologram, or is a hologram. And I included a couple of quotes from the paper. In this paper, we put forward a new quantum cosmological model of scalar field.
Stop. Here you go. Let's go back up right here. Human consciousness. Right? Particles, neutrons, photons, electrons, right? Okay? M theory, quantum cosmology, right? This is what he's talking about right now.
driven by eternal inflation by using gauge gravity duality. Boy, that's a mouthful. What he's saying here with eternal inflation is the issue of, is the universe expanding? So it's an infinite expansion. And there's a couple of problems with that, basically entropy, but I'm going to cover that in the next video, 1G, on the astrophysics issues. Anyway, the other quote was, we show the resulting two-dimensional holographic measure in figure 3, which I'm not going to show. This yields a holographic measure on the global structure of such eternally inflating universes, or continually expanding universe. The application of our ideas is to more realistic cosmologies requires further development of holographic cosmology. In order to have a hologram, which is basically right now two reference beams, creates a hologram, you have to have information that creates the hologram. So he kind of got to a second dimension, a two-dimensional, but he's really thinking of the two reference beams that creates a hologram. Not what I'm thinking, which is, I'm defining it as a transmission dimension. And you got to have a first dimension where the information is that creates the hologram. So I don't know why he didn't go all the way. Maybe over time, if he had lived longer, he might have figured it out. Over the last 5+ years, I've seen more and more physicists that are coming to the idea that, gee, maybe we are in a hologram, or reality seems to be like a hologram.
Stop. We are in a hologram. We are in a hologram. Look, they just said it. They found substantial evidence that we live in a goddamn hologram. Keep on thinking this shit is real. It ain't real. Let's go back to what he said. Let's go back.
Over time, if he had lived longer, he might have figured it out. Over the last 5+ years, I've seen more and more physicists that are coming to the idea that, gee, maybe we are in a hologram, or reality seems to be like a hologram.
Page 37 in this book. Everything you need to know but never been told, right here. Right here. The universe could be a vast and complex hologram, scientists say. The report explained how researchers from the UK University of Southampton, working with colleagues from Canada and Italy, have found substantial evidence that we are part of a massive illusion, akin to watching a 3D movie projected from a 2D screen. This is what he's talking about. So I'm bringing straight raw fact, what's coming out their own mouth. This is what he's talking about with this creating holograms. This hologram and waveform, which the laser reads the codes into apparently 3D image. And then in this book right here, the God Matrix, right? They say that we are living in a virtual reality. Okay? Or like the Sims game. The Sims game. The Sims game the Sims character inhabit a world of data bound by rules, parameters, and limitations established. Established within the game's computer code. Data being transmitted between a server and the player creates a virtual world rife with possibilities and potential. Imagine being born into a multiplayer virtual reality simulation similar to the Sims. Inside this virtual reality, all senses are engaged, and there is no way to stop the game or switch players. If we fall and scrape our knee, we bleed and feel pain. This virtual reality simulation is complex and real, giving us almost no reason to question its authenticity. Okay? Elon Musk. He said there is a 1,000,000,000 to 1 chance we are living in base reality. Okay? Let's keep on going.
And you're going to find out why with the subatomic particles and what they're doing. Okay, a little bit of the history of subatomic particles. Before the proton was first discovered in the late 1800s, the one who invented the first tool they could use it's called a cloud chamber.
Let's get some of this right here.
The information is like coming in all 360 degrees in that point. The atom is created when it crosses the x-axis, which is there, or in the middle there, where these two wires come together. That's what it creates the atom. And anyway, you'll see an example, a better one. Here's another one. You see the curlicue here of these tracks? This shows it much, much better. The reason why these tracks are doing that, because, and what I've read also, most of the atomic bullets they're using is lead. And sometimes they use gold also. They want a nice big atom. They don't want to miss. But you can see this chaos. This is thousands of tracks. Each one evidence of a neutron. Just leaves a path like that. Here's a gold atom, and showing the center, and
let's get some more of this.
Area comes out as an electron over here, and made up, of course, quarks. Yeah, right. Sure. Again, the reason why it's going in circles is it wasn't imparted with enough energy, maybe. At 4, there was the vast majority were T. Ultraviolet, this is angstrom units, nanometers. So way up here is probably this real bright one up here.
Now let's go to another one. Go to another one. Right here.
I think one of the biggest barriers I've had to
Quasars, black holes. Are we in a hologram?
I'm going to do a little review of what the previous, and he basically in the article is saying that the universe is a hologram. But he doesn't go far enough into it, and I'll cover it later, where he takes a hologram and takes, well, okay, where did the hologram come from? He doesn't go that far, and I'll explain why later. But he's basically saying his world, our universe, is a hologram, which really negates the stuff he worked on, black holes and things like that. You can't have a black hole in a hologram. Here's another summary, and I'll just read it off. For those who are reading this from, looking at a cell phone, you can't read this. I'm sure they reduce the resolution on the cameras. I mean, the broadcast, you don't see it. I'll read it. What is time? There are 8 dimensions. Each dimension is represented by a carrier wave. The fifth is, this is an interesting one. I've explained a little bit. It's the imbalance of particles and antiparticles. I went through some of this in video 1F, video signal, and they make a composite. Anyway, here he is in college, just got married, obviously. And through, it's all a matter of information, and it's exponentially greater.
So here's the human motor neurons, and over here is the universe, right?
The previous. So a star has access to a lot of information, and most likely is communicating with all of them. American Indians and some other ancient cultures always thought that planets and stars were entities. They're probably right. By my definition, it is an existence, and I divide, as I said, I divide dimensions much differently than Einstein did or anybody else does. is potential and information and controlling it and accessing it and communicating with it. The stars are the ultimate, but they've made a network. I think they're all communicating. I don't think they can perceive us, though. I think we live such a short period of time, I don't think they can perceive the very short segments of time, only the larger ones. They do the experiment, they set up the experiment, each one will represent a separate subatomic particle. Science period will be, I'll get over here. This is on, in spite of the title, which is the creation of the Hebrew alphabet. What does this have to do with physics? I'm the first person since maybe Moses, the first temple period, that figured out the model that created the Hebrew alphabet. And it's not what you think. So all you physicists and scientists listening, please bear with me. The Library of Congress indexed this thing, QA76. That's mathematics. .889 is quantum computing. I hope I got you curious enough that you want to watch that. There's going to be a whole bunch of them in this that you'll understand.
So he wrote a book called Creation of the Hebrew Alphabet. I have his book. And in the Congress and Library indexed that book as quantum computing. Okay? So when you go back to this article right here, The Secret Hidden in Modern Science, The Black Man God, they talk about quantum computing, right? Quantum physics. Okay? Right? Elijah Muhammad was talking about this back in the 1930s. It says, in Elijah Muhammad's books, it gives an account of how the original black people, following the original pattern of the first created God, consciously willed and called the physical universe into existence with the power of their minds. Not minds. Not just one mind, not just one brain, multiple brains. When you go here to the book, you can get this book online for free, Black Fruit Science, and look what he says. How did they do it? Here's a book, Black Fruit Science, right? And it says that our Earth and solar system were created 78 trillion years ago. As soon as the Earth was ready, 144,000 ancestors came from another star system. The star system called Osiris, that was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians. They inhabited the Earth after preparing it by seeding it with plant and animal life. Now go back and watch my video on Forbidden Archaeology Part 1 and Part 2. Their own science said that they talk about something called panspermia, that somebody brought life here. Somebody brought animal life here, plant life. But they never tell you who it is. I'm telling you who it is. After about 7,000 years since their arrival, their population increased from 144,000 to 1,000,000,008 million. Now let's keep on going down here. And it says here that the first Earth mentioned above was created by the 1,000,000,008 original gods from the stars of the previous universe. They had existed in that previous universe towards its end, along with trillions upon trillions of other people, in a state of mind called divine unity, or the oneness of God. It is a state of mind where all the people in the universe unite as one. This one God in truth. This one is God in truth, not the spirit God of modern religions. When trillions upon trillions of people at the end of the previous universe were united as one, they experienced an indescribable expansion of their minds, which were as one mind. You see that? Same thing what Elijah Muhammad said. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going here. All right. Okay. Let's keep on going. All right. And it goes on to say that okay. All right. Now we're gonna get into the good stuff. Okay. Then with stars and atoms and all that type of stuff. I'm trying to get you all to see what's going on here. All right. So it says here that the one mind or God became so large that the previous universe could no longer contain him or her. He or she felt a need for a larger universe in which the experience of life would continue. The trillions upon trillions still unite as one. They decided to abandon that universe. They consciously left their perfected bodies and rose in mind far above the universe. Then they looked down on it and saw it as a small sphere, the way our Earth looks, which seemed high above in the space. It says, now, the mind is always attached to the body. There is no such thing as a mind without a body, as so-called spiritualists would like us to believe. The mind can extend beyond the outer reaches of space, even expand infinitely, but a magnetic attraction always attaches it to the physical body. The magnetic attraction dissipates at death, and the mind and individual personality or soul then ascends. It says, the united mind of the people who we as one person was so immense that the stars appeared to be the size of atoms. Now, let's drop down here. It says the matter of every star and planet in the universe is created in 7 forms. In modern words, these are magnetism, electricity, light, ether, gases, liquids, and solids. The fourth substance, ether, is the central supporting substance of the other 6. It is the womb of creation called space. It is black in color, as one can see by looking out into space at night. This absolute blackness, called space, not only supports the other substances, but it also gives individual color to all objects because the color black contains all other colors in itself. Hence, when the 1 billion original gods made themselves new bodies, they covered them in skin whose color is black, getting it directly from ether. Because the gods create all plants and animals from their own bodies, they need to have all colors stored in a single color in their creative germ, which is called the dark dominant germ or gene, the source of what people call melanin. Alright? Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Okay, now it says, see that, listen to this. It says that they did all this stuff, right? This stuff lasted over a trillion of years. It says they did this in order to be able to bring new life into the world, new persons who had never existed before, such as you and me. At the same time, in order to ensure the continuity of eternity, these same 1 billion, 8 million original gods continue to incarnate into new people. They reside in the unconscious part of the person's mind and are called the mind of God, or the divine gift of ancestral memory, or what modern people call the spirit of God. Listen to this. Thus, every black person, even though he or she is born brand new, is simultaneously one of the 1 billion, 8 million original gods. Only the personality new. Only the personality is new. The spirit is old, even eternal. You see that? Now, this is what white folks come in at. So white folks are not God. A God made you all. Some gods made you all. I already told you who it was. So it says here that on our earth, this form of divine rule existed uninterrupted for 78 trillion years. Until 6,000 years ago, when a certain God decided it was time for all the other gods, you and me, to experience that part of us contained in what is called the non-created recessive life journey. He caused the birth of new races of people, the non-blacks, who will be the vehicles to manifest all that is in that gene. All things without exception are contained in God. God will experience all that is contained in him or her. They know all, but has not experienced all. They use creation for this purpose of experiencing all that is known, including what is called evil. Hence, 6,000 years ago, a god by the name of Yahweh, or Yadabaoth, and other scripts, was born here on our earth. He, together with about 6,000 volunteers, who are called the Elohim, made them non-black, non-image. These are people. They made them by suppressing the dominant black gene and slowly unfolding the recessive light gene over a period of 7 generations of offspring, or 200 years. This caused the appearance of the first light race born to black people. You see that? Let's keep on going. It says, these 60,000 people, Yahweh and Elohim, thus initiated the modern age and the process that would eventually bring our divine kingdom to a temporary end. That, in brief, is a sacred history leading to the first earth, to our earth, and to the present situation of cycle called evil, which was preordained to last for 6,000 years. Now you can read this book online for free, but I got the book at home. So you're living in Yahweh's mind. Let me see if I can find it here. This is his world. This is his reality. He goes into light, sound, all of that stuff. Ascension. Let's keep on going. Okay, so we know that we living in a hologram. Can't get around it. We're living in a computer program.
And finally, okay. Some of us all around, but Moses gave us enough. And what's it pouring out? It's pouring out. Okay, now the 3 goodies. As far as I know, the theory of multidimensional reality is the only one that can explain all 3. If your matter theory of existence can't even remotely hope to. That's how you should also know you have no place to go with that matter theory of existence. It's dead. 1. Why was the universe created? Let me explain. A highly advanced civilization, I call them the builders.
Highly advanced civilization. What highly advanced civilization? Black people. Black folks. Go back and read this article. The secret hidden in modern science, the black man God. They know who we are, man. They know what's up, man. And by they, who was they? White people and black people. They got the Negro sellouts. They know who niggas are. You don't know who you are.
Built a diehole.
What is a diehole? What are you talking about?
Computer. A quantum computer.
A quantum computer. A quantum computer. Let's go back to this book right here. Everything you need to know but never been told. He talks about quantum computing, right? You You are multi-dimensional being. You're not just living this life on this earth. Let's see here. One second. Find it real quick. Okay, so you got here quantum theory or quantum computing. All right, and that's on page 111. Okay, so you're dealing with the cosmic internet, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. All right, like right here. He talks about it right here. Quantum computer. Right? So the universe is an enormous electrical system of communication that in so many ways reflect that of a computer because that is what it is. A quantum computer, far beyond anything that human science has begun to understand. Earth's atmosphere is an electromagnetic field that constantly changes in response to other electrical influences such as day and night, the sun, weather, electrical storms, and positive and negative charge. The field is also affected by human thought and emotion, which are constantly broadcasting as frequencies into the atmosphere. And this explains major spikes of activity within Earth's magnetic field during happenings such as 9/11. When there is a collective surge of mental and particularly emotional response. Now, let's go back here. I'm trying to get you niggas to see. Trying to get you to see. We're living in a hologram. How much proof you need? Reading that damn Bible ain't gonna get it. You gotta go outside the Bible. Let's go back here. You're living in a hologram, a computer program. Who came up with this computer program? Black folks. Right here. New Scientist, the UK mainstream science magazine, ran a front page story in 2019, quote, you are a hologram projected from the edge of the universe. And Scientific American magazine gave similar coverage to a story headed, quote, are you a hologram? Another mainstream media report in 2017 carried the headline, quote, the universe could be a vast and complex hologram, scientists say. The report explained how researchers from the UK's University of Southampton, working with colleagues from Canada and Italy, had found substantial evidence that we are part of a massive illusion, akin to watching a 3D movie projected from a 2D screen. We living in a goddamn computer program. The Matrix.
And loaded it in and turned it on, and it created our universe. Well, let me explain. A highly advanced civilization, I call them the builders, built a die-hold computer, a quantum computer, and loaded it in and turned it on, and it created our universe. Why did they do that? They wanted to get two answers out of it. The first one, you get almost immediately, less than a millisecond, depending on the speed of this thing, which is extremely fast. It may even be picoseconds for all I know.
He's not telling who the builders are who built this quantum computer. It's not in this dimension. Who did it? Go back here. Read the article for yourself. The secret hidden in modern science is the black man God. You are God. You black man and woman. This is your doing. You did this. So you are participating in your creation. I said it before. I said, what if God is participating in his creation? I said this when I did the interview with Brother Kali Ma'at and Brother Ritz when I was on a show, on a live show. We was talking about the second N word. I told him, brother, I said, what if God wanted to participate in His creation, wanted to interact with His creation? So, like here in the book right here. Now, how you gonna debunk this? In the book right here, the God Matrix, are you living in a computer simulation? Highlighted the idea that we are unknowing participants in an ancestor simulation. What ancestors? Black people. We are participating in our creation. We are participating with our creations. Go back here. Molecular biology says that black people created the world. You go to quantum physics, consciousness, thought, being aware, multi dimensions, quantum cosmology. This is black folks. Stephen Hawking, the white man who just died recently. He didn't come out and say black folks did it. Well, he was getting there. He was getting there. So I'm almost out of time. This video is entitled "We Are Living in a Hologram." We're living in a computer program, a computer reality, a simulation. So it says that, as it was shown earlier in this investigation, findings in the field of molecular biology have already proved beyond any shadow of a doubt that the first people, and thus the first human observers to walk this planet, were the original black man and woman. According to the mathematics of quantum cosmology, the present state and configuration of the universe owes its existence to the consciousness of these first human observers. Therefore, the inescapable conclusion that the scientific world is faced with is that the original black people of this planet are in fact mathematically and scientifically the true lords of creation. This means that the so-called Asians and Europeans, who according to the findings of molecular biology appeared on Earth sometime between 10,000 and 6,000 years ago, would have come into and gazed upon a universe already fully constructed by the consciousness of the original black people of this planet over a period of hundreds of thousands, and according to the teaching of Elijah Muhammad, trillions of years. So what is consciousness? Consciousness is being aware. So somebody was aware before time and space. Who was it? Black people. You have no beginning or end. You are the first and last. You are the I am. What does consciousness mean? Let's look up consciousness. This is a new state religion. You know what I'm saying? Consciousness means the state of being awake or aware of one's surroundings. Perception. You got this, right? This is the mind, somebody's brain. I just showed you you can read the book Black Root Science that he's telling you. So you black men and women, this reality that you're in, that you're experiencing, you came up with this stuff. You're interacting with your creation. This is the dream world. This is an illusion. Now I done came with multiple references. Let's keep on going.
You want to find out if the program you put into it is the same one that the beings came up with and come back out and report back to you. If that happens, then you know that the program, the operating system, must permeate all levels of existence. Probably it's the distance between the atoms themselves and the molecules. It's like standing waves, but it's the program. and it permeates all levels of existence. There's another part. I'm going to answer it when I get to number 3, and you'll understand why. If God created the universe, then who created God? I'm saying the God in our universe, in our dihole, is a computer program. So is that God? It's like, I'll give you an analogy. Let's say you take a computer program and you copy it, let's say 1,000 times onto CDs. And then you take that CD, and take the first one, you load it into a computer.
So we're living in a computer program, a quantum computer program, simulation, virtual reality. And who did it? Who came up with it? The same people, the same people that's being gunned down in the streets by police officers. You know what I'm saying? Same niggas that's killing themselves over gangs, over what turf they are, what turf, this turf is my turf, and all this stupid bullshit. You're killing the one that made you. But we are eternal. So, like in the book Black Root Science, he said that the personality is new, but the soul, the spirit, is eternal. So we are multi-dimensional beings. We're not just living this life here. And we talk about planets. These are creations. These are thoughts. Whatever they can think of becomes reality, and that's what they did. That's what we did. On page 35 of his book, Our Savior Has Arrived, and you can see that I have that book on my Kindle right here. I'm not playing with you. I ain't playing with you niggas. Think it's a damn game? Right here, Our Savior Has Arrived. Same book he's talking about on page 35 of his book, Our Savior Has Arrived. Let's go to it. Think I'm making this stuff up. On page 35. Well, actually page 34, but 35. Right here, he says, I only want to tell you the truth of self. If you are black, why do you want to be white when white came after black? If you are black, he says, I say and repeat, you produce white. There was no white or light before you. You produce both of them, light and white. You are natural, born and part of that in which you were created. You are the only man who needed light to light up the universe. Same thing. You are the only man who needed light to light up the universe. You brought forth that light. You are walking around looking for a God to bow to and worship. You are the God. See that?
Make another copy. Then you take that copy.
So I'm running out of time. I got a couple of seconds left. So I hope this is enough for you to see that we're living in a hologram, a computer program. Who came up with that computer program? Black men and women. I keep telling you niggas, you're not going to find God in the book. If you want to know who God is, if you're a black person, look in the mirror. You're looking at God. You're looking at the physical manifestation of God in physical form, because God is interacting with his creation. We are interacting with our creation. And with that being said, I say peace. Click and subscribe. Thanks for listening and watching. Peace.